Welcome to an all new edition of WillRob's Workbench. Tonight we're going to get into the ATM6 from Star Wars The Last Jedi. Now, this is a model that I've had for a while that I've held on to, that Sass Dragon bought me a while back, and I just haven't done any of these model shows in a while, and I haven't streamed hardly at all just because I've been really sick lately. Let's build. So here we go. Let's cut this bad boy open. Now this one's kind of weird. It had this plastic strap. Not sure why. And this is one I've been wanting to get into for quite a while. Has the typical instructions there. Typical warning things, you know, like you're dealing with a child. So the first step is to snap together A14 to A211. First bit of flush here. Man, I don't like how that cut. Sometimes when you make a cut on this using these flush cutters, and they leave like scars like this. And get that focused in a little bit there. I know it's blurry because this trying to get it focused in, but it won't focus in. So anyways, not sure what you can see there, but there's a lot of scarring on there. So that's A14. Let's go to A211. And I could tell you, for these small models, I like the color on this one. Usually they're like really white, and that means you gotta paint the hell out of them. And this one, I think I'm gonna have to paint it anyhow, like throw a primer on there, but I don't think I would absolutely have to if I didn't want to. Man, again, I just do not like the way these are, this cut is going on these. This is a good pair of flush cutters right here. And it's and I don't know if it's the way that this one was done, as far as like how it was put into the flush into the tree or what, but man, it's just not. I just don't like the way this looks. If you get this model, and right now I'm snapping this thing together, but if you get this model, just keep in mind that when you cut it out, there's going to be a lot of flush. So hopefully that gets covered up in the final build. I think it will. It sort of looks like this will be covered up in the next step here. Yeah, in fact, I think it is. So next step is A15. And see if I can like strategically cut this so that I don't have all that scarring going on. No, it's still scarring the hell out of it. Let me go to another pair of flush cutters like this cheap pair that I got from Harbor Freight here. See what that does. I don't know, like this really expensive, nice pair of flush cutters does not do the job that the Harbor Freight ones do. The Harbor Freight ones seem to cut a lot better. It's still leaving some scarring, but I don't think it's as bad. Yeah, it's not as bad. So I'm just gonna let all this scarring go, and then maybe later on I might have to fix that up a little bit. But I'm not too worried about it right now. Well, I am worried about it. It's gonna drive me crazy, because I'm like anal about this type of stuff. It's just gonna drive me up a wall if I see it. So I'll just have to fix it later. Maybe like tear it away with the X-Acto knife. Now, I mean, depending on how I decide to do this this particular video, because I'm not sure, like this is recording on a Monday night, and I'm not sure when I will release this video, but if I release it, put some production value into this damn thing, then I might end up taking breaks here and there from the build, you know, to do some of that goofy stuff like I used to do before with the cartoons and the commercials and all that stuff, you know, doing more of a variety show. I really like doing that, but I don't know. We'll see how much I'm putting into this this particular episode here. So, you know, right there, like some of the scarring and everything from the flush cutting is covered up. So, you know, there's a little bit there on the back, but most of it's covered up. So I'm not going to worry too much about that. All right, here, A11. That's pretty easy to remember. Man, whole lot of things have happened since I did one of these last. So, you know, it's like from a personal life standpoint and all that. I mean, nothing disastrous or nothing, but just a lot of stuff going on, you know, family stuff, and it's just kind of kept me away from streaming and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, not altogether the total reason to stay away from streaming. I mean, quite honestly, the main reason to stay away from streaming and content has absolutely been how sick I've been and all this, you know, with these allergies and everything. And man, I'll tell you what, we had a late allergy season starting up here in Pennsylvania. And, you know, it's just been pretty wild. And couple that with the fact that we had a pretty late cold season too, like as far as people getting colds and stuff. And I held off, and I've been pretty healthy all year. And then all of a sudden, boom, man, it hit me. And then it hit me right there when the allergy season was starting up. So yeah, it's been a rough couple of months here as far as health goes and stuff. But I think I'm on the right side of it. I'm not going to be doing a heck of a lot of streaming just because, as you might have been able to tell, it's hard for me to continue to talk and talk and talk. In fact, some of my conversation with you might even be, put in post after the build. But, you'll be able to probably tell the difference in quality of conversation and stuff if that is the case. So you'll know whenever something's actually in the build and something's bullshit, if you know what I mean. Something's like complete and utter bullshit, like I'm trying to fool you into believing that this is live. But right now it's live. I ain't fooling you. I ain't trying to fool you. I ain't trying to fool shit. I'm just trying to build this thing, and man, this one right here is funky as hell. That one right there, I hope I cut that one right. If not, this one's gonna be screwed. All right, there's A316, A18. Man, they got me jumping all over these trees right now. All right, A17. I'll tell you what, it's a testament to Harbor Freight that they have these flush cutters. These are like, I think these are called Pittsburgh flush cutters, and they're doing a better job than these IGAN 170 flush cutters, which are ones that you'll find on like Amazon or other places that people use that are pretty maybe more expensive than these cheap whatever these were. I can't even remember how much these were. These are cheap as hell. I bought like 3 of them at once. I figured these other ones, these IGANs or whatever the hell you call that. I have no idea how you say that word. But those things right there, they don't cut as well as these cheap Harbor Freight ones. So, I'll go up and buy a bunch more of them in a heartbeat compared to these fancy ones I got. I don't know where to cut that one at. God dang. This thing right here is like, this cut right here, I have no idea where to cut that at. What part is part of what it's supposed to be, or what? I don't know. And I'm not getting a lot of help from the okay, I can see it now. And if that's fucked up, oh well. So yeah, like I said, we gonna take the family down to see the giant rat. And will not be the kids' first time there. We took them there. I've taken most of my kids there a bunch of times before, and my youngest ones that are our adopted daughters, this will be their second trip. They went a couple years ago. We will not be there in time at Disney World to see Galaxy's Edge. I'm going to have to wait to see that, and I'm waiting for the crowds to die down to see Galaxy's Edge. That will happen probably next year. I think we are going to fly out. Just my wife and I think, are going to fly out for a long weekend out to Disneyland to go check out Galaxy's Edge and Disneyland itself. That'll be my first time out at Disneyland if we do that. And I'm really looking forward to that. That will be fun. As a Disney nut that I am really looking forward to it. And what do y'all think of Last Jedi? Like, a lot of everyone thinks Last Jedi sucked. And, they don't like what Disney's doing with Star Wars and all that stuff. But I can't complain about what Disney's doing with Star Wars. I mean, they're keeping the damn thing alive, If it weren't for that, Galaxy's Edge is amazing. From what I've seen, and people were really pretty psyched about it. It's kind of a mixed bag as far as what they think about the Smuggler's Run Millennium Falcon ride. But as far as everything else, people seem to be pretty psyched about what's going on there. It's gotten pretty good reviews as far as land goes. Like, my buddy Matt, he's telling me, he's like, man, I would just go there to hang out and go to the shops and act like I was like walking around the Star Wars universe, that would be good enough for me, he said. And I totally agree with that. As far as Galaxy's Edge, I think it's been a big win just because of those things, because of how great they did with the land itself. Like, they've done better with the land than they did with the actual Smuggler's Run ride, from what it looks like. So, I would absolutely love to go there just for that, And as far as like the movies go, I'm kind of almost in the minority as far as my friends go when it comes to this, but I like The Last Jedi. I didn't have a problem with it. There's a lot of things I liked about it, like there's things I didn't like, but there's things I liked. Like, for example, just how, the things that people hated The Last Jedi for, I liked The Last Jedi. Just people didn't like, oh, that's not Luke Skywalker. Well, that was exactly Luke Skywalker, in my opinion. He was a whiny bitch boy in the first movie, and he whined a little bit and then was like impulsive and all this stuff. That's exactly what he was in The Last Jedi, man. He was like everything that he was throughout the films that we saw. He cared about people. He cared about the universe and his place in the universe. And he felt this tremendous weight of responsibility on his shoulders for his friends, for the universe, for everyone else. And, he kind of was like, he just shut down whenever, he failed. And look at Empire, he failed bringing the X-Wing out of the water and everything, out of the swamp. And, I don't get like what other people say about that movie, I didn't feel that same way. Like, to me, that movie felt exactly what I expected it to be, but it even called into question like the expectations that everyone had as far as, oh, I can't wait to see Luke Skywalker. He's gonna bring it. We're gonna see finally how powerful he is. I never thought that we were gonna see that. The Skywalker saga really has never been about how powerful the Skywalkers are. It's a story of a family, a broken family and redemption. It's the hero story, And in the end, Luke became the hero once again. And he brought hope to the galaxy. You know, I mean, that is Luke Skywalker, people. Bringing hope to the freaking galaxy, man. I mean, I don't know what people's expectations totally were, but I think people didn't get the same thing I did. Now, there was some stupidity in the movie here and there. Of course, I mean, you can say what you want. I didn't really mind it, but the Leia and Mary Poppins scene was kind of goofy. I mean, like I said, it didn't really bother me too much. This thing right here bothers me a little bit. Look how small this is, and this has got to fit into there. So maybe, you know, some people, I could see that bothering some people. Okay. You know, I mean, honestly, they probably should have, you know, maybe put an end to Leia right there. That probably would have been the quick and easy way to do it. But that would have been the quick and easy way to do it anyhow. So, you know, maybe that's why they didn't do it. Maybe they wanted to give her a proper send-off or something, or maybe they just didn't have the proper footage to do that. So, you know, I mean, she did have a place in the rest of the movie. So, you know, with that said, there's a lot of things that I really enjoyed about that movie, and there's some things that weren't so great. I really loved the throne room fight scene. That was great. I mean, that just reminded me of all those kung fu type movies, you know, and the fights and stuff. I just really enjoyed that a lot. But, you know, there's some people that are so bitter about the whole damn thing, they just won't enjoy any of it. It's kind of like the Star Trek movies, you know, the new Star Trek movies. And to be honest with you, the second one did kind of suck, I thought. But, you know, I thought JJ just recycled a bunch of crap, and that's what he does sometimes. I think we all know that by now. That's why I'm a little apprehensive about what's happening here. Like, y'all bitched about you know, Last Jedi and all that stuff, and now you know, you're getting what you wanted with JJ coming back, right? Because, you know, he does nothing but original work, right? Yeah, original work. That dude can't do an original work to save his life. I mean, Jesus, the guy's like doing nothing but recycled material. He recycles everything. Like, I fully expect this next return, like this next The Rise of Skywalker, to be set on Endor in one way or another. I mean, we've seen the trailer, so I think it's going to be on Endor to some degree, and we'll probably see them damn Ewoks and all that stuff, you know. There will be nothing original. It'll probably be just a rehash of what we saw in Jedi, because let's face it, that's what JJ does. He just recycles old properties. He don't come up with anything new. It's just a recycled movie, just like he did with Force Awakens. That's what he did with Force Awakens. He recycled it. It was the first Star Wars movie, the original Star Wars movie redone. Big battle station, you know. I mean, kid on a desert planet, you know, kind of just waiting for an opportunity, you know, all kinds of stuff, like questioning what their place is as far as in the universe and their family and all that stuff. I mean, you know, if you can't see the similarities in that film, you need to get your eyes checked. Seriously. When it comes to, I mean, at least Last Jedi had some original concepts and the original way that it approached the series, and it opened the door for the series to go in a little bit of a new direction, you know. I mean, you know, it wasn't like it wasn't a rehashed, totally recycled piece of crap. I mean, there was some stuff that was, of course, we got the Imperial Walkers on a planet sort of looks like Hoth. That sort of sucked, that part of it, as far as being recycled garbage and all that, if you want to say that. But I just didn't I didn't think that movie was bad, and I didn't think the Solo movie was bad. I just think the timing was bad. Promotions were bad, but I enjoyed the Solo movie. And as far as the movies go, like, my judgment of how I like a movie is whether I can go back and watch it and how many times I can go back and watch that movie. And I can tell you right now, like, every single one of those prequel Star Wars movies, the prequels, all three of them, I cannot go back and watch those pieces of shit to save my life. That episode 2 especially was the biggest piece of shit sci-fi movie I think I've ever watched. That was, big budget sci-fi movie. I mean, there's like really badly reviewed sci-fi movies from the 80s and shit that people make fun of that I'd rather watch than that hunk of shit. That episode 2 was one of the worst damn sci-fi movies I've ever seen in my life. What a piece of shit that was. I just hated that movie, as if you couldn't have already figured that out. The dialogue and all that stuff, man, and what a waste of great acting talent that entire series was. Jeez Louise, it was horrible. But, I mean, in terms of like looking over that stuff, like, people are like, well, the prequels look better now because of the sequel series. I call bullshit on that. I'd take a recycled J.J. Abrams piece of shit any day over that damn prequel series. God damn, that thing was a piece of shit. That whole series right there, I mean, it should have never been done. It was not Star Wars. It was like garbage. Yeah, but the Emperor and and we got to see Anakin, and who gives a shit? What the hell did we need it for? That's the thing. You say to yourself, what did we need that for? What did we need the prequels for? We already got the picture. We weren't that dumb, George. We know what happened. We could tell what happened. We heard it from everything as you described it, and he did such a good job kind of explaining to us over the years as to what did happen, that we didn't need the damn movies. What the hell did we need them movies for? There was absolutely no reason to make those movies at all. They were garbage anyways. I don't know if George burned out or what the hell, but I'll tell you what, anything that George has done, probably the last 20 years or so, or whatever it's been, has not been good. Honestly, if you take a look at it, not been good. And I'll tell you something else, and this goes into the unpopular opinion category. I'm just going to tell you, because I know this is going to piss people off, but I don't care, because this is just, I'm just giving out how I feel about things. I'm telling you that short of that episode 1, like, the score for episode 1 from John Williams was really good. I think it was pretty good. All the rest of the scores John Williams has done since then, Star Wars wise, has sucked. I'm just telling you, I think they've been horrible. Compared to what he did in the original series, they've just been bad. I mean, it's recycled garbage. Listen to it. And you can hear the score is like pretty similar to probably 5 or 6 other movies that the guy's done as far as scoring them. Now, I'll tell you, the one Star Wars score that's been great has been Rogue One. I think Rogue One has one of the best just absolute best scores of Star Wars since probably Empire. Now, it's not a take on the movie. I'm not going to comment about the movie itself. I like the movie, but I don't compare it to those other movies. But you know, I won't compare it to the original movies. The original movies were just done better. But you know, and I liked Rogue One a lot. It's probably my 4th favorite Star Wars film, behind the original trilogy. Yes, that's right. I even put Return of the Jedi in there, because I'm sorry, Return of the Jedi was better than any of these movies that have been done since. I don't even care if there were teddy bears in it. I like the teddy bears. And if nothing else, we got Warwick Davis out of the teddy bears. Freaking Warwick Davis. What a great guy, I'm telling you. You can say what you want about those Ewoks, but we got that out of it. And actually, George's concept for them, you know, as I get older, I appreciate it more and more and more. But yeah, those, I mean, you know, if I had to rate the movies in order, if I had to put them in order, they would go like this. They would go like this. Star Wars, because I ain't gonna call it A New Hope. It was Star Wars when I first saw it, and it's Star Wars now. So for me, Star Wars, then Empire, and you know, most people would say Empire, you know, first, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. You know, Empire is a great movie. And maybe it is, you know, the best. I don't know, but just for my liking, I've seen Star Wars more times than any other film ever. Star Wars favorite, Empire second, Jedi third. Then I would honestly say Rogue One is probably my 4th. I would say Last Jedi is my 5th favorite. I would say Solo is my 6th favorite. So I like the Solo movie a lot. That would be my 6th favorite. Man, I really like how this thing stands. I really do. I like this vehicle so much. I just think it's really cool. Just a cool ass vehicle. I wish they had a larger scale for this vehicle, but because all you whiny ball babies about bitching about Last Jedi, we ain't gonna get that. But I would say, yeah, Last Jedi is the 6th. I would say 7th. Or no, wait, the 5th. The 5th being The Last Jedi and Solo being the 6th. Then probably Episode 1, just because of like Darth Maul and Qui-Gon, and we at least got to see, you know, the Jedi Temple and all that good stuff. So I would say that right there. Then I would say Revenge of the Sith and I don't like that movie that much. Just because, just like any of those movies, I don't like just because they look like crap as far as the effects now. They're so dated, and I just think the acting is so stiff because of the green screens and stuff, and the way they had to act, and the way George directed them, and all that. And of course, the last one being episode 2, and as far as the last one goes, I don't even quantify that because that fucking movie was such a piece of shit. It was so bad. That movie was so freaking bad. I don't even put a quantity on it because of how bad it was. I mean, just horrible.
Anakin, we live in a real world. Anakin, come back to it. We live...
The kiss that you should not have given me.
And what's the other? Oh, the freaking clone troopers, like the clone troopers when they were on Camino, eating air. They had bowls of what was supposed to be food, and they were eating air. No shit. Look at it. Go watch the damn thing again. I've watched it too many damn times. Eating air. They fucked up and they never fixed it. And the score just wasn't that great, and the the arena fight,
oh my god,
that was horrible with those animals and stuff. Like, I loved the Ray Harryhausen callback. I loved some of that stuff. Like Obi-Wan in the arena was my favorite, with fighting that creature, that crab-like creature. So I couldn't even quantify how bad that movie was. It was just terrible. And I didn't even really like Jango Fett. And Boba was okay. Like as a kid, that was okay. It was kind of goofy. And I really liked Daniel Logan. I like Daniel Logan. He's a fun guy and a fan of the series. And I'm just, he got a good opportunity there, and I'm glad he did. But yeah, anyways, I ain't gonna rant anymore about that. I'll rant again maybe in another episode. But all I'm gonna do here is this is done. So I don't think I'm gonna have to primer this or paint it or nothing. I mean, I'm just gonna have to weather this sucker. Look at this thing. I mean, it is damn near perfect as far as the coloring of movie, as far as what was in the movie and stuff. I mean, like if you look at the color and you look at that picture of this thing, of course it's backwards because it's in the camera and everything. But I mean, if you look at the coloring of that, it's right there. So I think all I'm going to end up doing with this one is weather, and I'm going to let it go. I might shave off some of the flush that's left on it, or something along those lines. But yeah, I mean, this is, I really had fun putting this together and like talking to you guys. You can see some of the flush right there that I'll go back later and I'll take the X-Acto blade and just kind of clean it up, maybe sand it down just a tiny bit. But yeah, for the most part, this is a good build. I mean, this is a really solid, good build. Simple as hell. The detail on this little model is just unreal. I mean, I'm really happy with the detail on this. It's gonna be really hard on this camera, on the camera here on this phone, to really focus on it. There, I mean, that's probably about as good as you're gonna get on there. Like I said, this camera, it's a front-facing camera right here, and it's not meant to really get up in there with all that detail. But even just the detail on this little model, and it's pretty true of all these small scale models with this series. It's just unbelievable detail for how small they are. And I mean, I'm just very impressed. Very, very impressed by all of these small scale models. I mean, I'll show you here in a minute. I mean, look at that. I mean, that is mean as hell. I'm just really, I mean, they've done such a good job, and these things aren't that expensive. Like, you go to Hobby Lobby and get one of these for $10, or your local hobby shop or Amazon and get them for like, you know, $8, $6. Somewhere between like $6 and $10 is what you're gonna pay for these. And they're just for as much detail as what you're getting with them. They're well worth it. I mean, half-hour build at most. If I wasn't distracted and talking to you guys and all that stuff, this would be, you know, who knows how long. It wouldn't be that long, I'll tell you that much. I'd probably get one of these together in like 20 minutes or less. But I just really, really, really like this model a lot. So, I mean, the detail is so awesome. Click that thumbs up for a like if you liked what you saw. If you didn't, you can go ahead and click the thumbs down. That's cool too. You know, and click the bell to just keep up with the content. And you can drop some comments or some comments down there too if you have any suggestions of things you want to see in the future. And, you know, I appreciate y'all stopping by, and we will see you on the next one.